What is going on, guys? Sir Dropshot here, and we are back with another NHL video. This time we're going to be talking about NHL 20 and uniforms that I think should be in the next iteration of NHL. So starting in, kicking off at number 10, 1999-2002 LA Kings uniforms. Now, obviously, I love purple and black, love purple, black, and silver, and white. Overall, these uniforms look clean with the old throwback LA Kings logo that they rocked for some years. Obviously, it looks similar to the 06, 07 uniforms that they have on the game, but just I know it's only on the number 10 spot. But overall, I could see a lot of people rocking these jerseys in like Ultimate Team or Online Versus. Coming in at number 9 are the Hamilton Tigers 1921 to 1923 uniforms. Now, I know Hamilton really wasn't that good of a NHL team when they existed, but I think it would be pretty nifty if EA would put into account that a lot of people from Hamilton or in the Hamilton area play NHL, and they would love to see these uniforms make a comeback and just see them in the flesh and see them rock them with their Ultimate Team or whatever, and just overall would be a nifty little change for Hamilton fans to see. Coming in at our number 8 spot is the 1917-1919 Montreal Canadiens uniforms. Now, obviously Montreal, historic franchise, and you would think for Montreal being such a historic franchise, they would have their first uniforms. However, I noticed that EA does not have the oldest NHL jerseys on the oldest NHL franchise. Why not have them? Coming in at a number 7 spot are the 1948-1961 Detroit Redwings uniforms. Now, obviously, winning 4 Stanley Cups in a specific uniform is just huge and will bring history later down the road to these uniforms. But, I mean, obviously, this is an exception for the Red Wings. These were beautiful uniforms, a little bit different than the Red Wings' current uniforms, but not much. But obviously, the Red Wing logo looks slightly different on these uniforms, and I like how it's slightly tilted and a little off-centered. But yeah, it's pretty cool uniform, and obviously all of the or a lot of the Hall of Famers, Red Wings Hall of Famers, rocked these uniforms back in the day. Because I mean, when you have these uniforms for 12 seasons, it's a lot of your good players are going to have them. So anyway, iconic uniform coming in at number 7. Coming at number 6 are the 2008-2011 Atlanta Thrashers uniforms. Now, obviously, a lot of people loved the Atlanta Thrashers, and a lot of people miss them. So, why not bring them back? Or at least the uniforms, at least. These were the uniforms that the Thrashers wore in their last season. And as you can notice, I also threw in the alternates that they wore during the last season, which those were really, really interesting alternates, to say the least, with the little, the football type numbers on the front and all that. Really interesting to see. Needless to say, these jerseys were on, or the uniforms were back on NHL 12, so why not bring them back? Thrashers fans would love to see them. Coming in at our number 5 spot are the 95-97 New York Islanders uniforms. Now, this one, it's probably going to be a toss-up for a lot of people, but these are, in my opinion, these are so ugly that they're just so cool. I mean, it's really, really unique to say the least. Overall, it's a really different logo that the Islanders rocked back in the day. Really, really cool looking, honestly, but be really cool to see people rock these uniforms in Ultimate Team or Online Versus, and just Islanders. Honestly, if anyone from Islanders watching this, you guys got to bring back the Fisherman logo, please bring it back. Coming in at our number 4 spot are the 1947-1959 All-Star Game uniforms. Now, back when the All-Stars played against the Stanley Cup champions, they wore these uniforms for a little over 10 seasons. They did actually bring back these uniforms back in 1992 later on for the 75th anniversary. So when I think of the All-Star Game, I think of these uniforms or the ones that they had in 1994 and 1997. So those uniforms, I'll pop up on the screen, the 94 and 97 uniforms. Either or, I would love preferably the 47-59 ones, just because they were out for so long. Obviously, they used them for a longer period of time, but I could go for either. Coming in on our number 3 spot are the 1925-1926 New York American uniforms. Now, Obviously, second American team to come into the NHL, first being the Bruins, of course. You know what? Why not give them some sort of recognition? This team, I mean, they played from 1925 to 42. I mean, a decent amount of time, but just overall, these uniforms look sick. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but these look sick. I mean, they're kind of an iconic uniform, in my opinion. But also, besides just the fact of the history and them looking pretty cool, while they're at it, just why can't they just have the old sweater look to the video game? You know, have it a little tight fit, have, you know, show the cotton texture to it. I think it'll obviously look really cool. With that being said, I'd love to see the cotton sweaters to come back for obviously these New York American jerseys, but also for like the older jerseys that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, that's coming in at number 3. Coming in at our number 2 spot are the 95-97 Penguins uniforms. Now, why don't we have the Robo Penguin back in the NHL series? I love these uniforms. When I think of the Penguins, I think of the 90s Penguins with Yager and Lemieux on it. Just absolutely tearing it up in the NHL. But besides that, I mean, they have a good history. I think they look really sharp, personally. And I mean, who can forget Lemieux rocking the alternates on the NHL 2002 cover? He looked like a shape beauty in that. But I love these Penguins uniforms, and I think they're an iconic uniform that EA is really missing out on, and I think that they really need to include. Coming in at number 1, we have the 95-97 St. Louis Blues uniforms. So, I mean, the mid-90s were really different for the Blues, or at least different in the fact that they added red to their uniforms. Also, they had pretty good players on their team. Hull, McInnes, Shanahan. Just to name a few, and what's that one guy? Oh yeah, Wayne Gretzky, that guy. He rocked these uniforms when he was on the team, so you know, why not have them? You know, pretty historic uniforms back in the day with the oddly slanted font on it. I think it looks pretty nice, honestly. But well, I know Blues fans would love them. I personally would love them, even though I'm not really a Blues fan. But yeah, tell me what you guys think overall about this jersey list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Comment below what you guys would love to see come into NHL 20 jersey-wise. And leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Running wild.